Good morning, Wiser family. GMWN. Good morning, Wiser Nation. Glad to have us all here again. I see Oladipo, Mfon, Nancy, Bidemi, Christiana, Eze. It's not too early to start liking the video, Abby. Stephanie Williams, Emmanuel Livinus, Amina Grace. Una know they sleep. Do you know they sleep? Some of you were saying hello at 5:40. I'm like, these people. Thank you for coming and coming early. Thank you for taking yourself seriously. Thank you for all the feedback that I've been getting. I've gotten DMs on Instagram. I've gotten messages on WhatsApp. I saw a WhatsApp message this morning from someone. I didn't even bother asking her name because I was just so warmed by what she talked about. And she was chatting at past 3. Aren't you sleeping? Well, I'm assuming it's a she because it's a she on her WhatsApp photo. She said, I have a testimony to share with you. I'm so blessed and glad. The past 18 days, my life has changed. Though I have some regrets, but I am now wiser. I do things differently and calmly. I love that. This is one of the results that we hope Wiser will bring: the calm, the peace, the serenity for the new year. Many of us go into the new year or end the year with regrets, with pain. We hope that it is our hope, prayer, desire that Wiser will not flog you to pain and regret. Rather, it will encourage you to see ways to do things better, differently, more productively. That is the desire. I need to keep reminding us that there are times we read certain things in the book of wisdom, and even me, it will slap me, front and back, and I have to remind myself this is to teach, not only to reprove. It's to reprove, but it's not to condemn. It's to encourage to do better. If you understand what I'm saying, just say I understand, all right? You in the chat. Good morning, Lacey, Chieri Obiobasi, Angela, Mrs. Inspirer, Mommy Nancy Oamen. Good morning, Mama. And good morning, Daddy, because I know Daddy's right next to you. Zita, good morning. Ekene Obika, Donna, Roslyn Onolaja, good morning. Daprio Duna, Oladipo Caleb, I think I've mentioned these names. And Syrian Dangosu, I must mention your name. You are in the replay every day. And to all others who are always watching the replay, but I don't see your names, Syrian always comments when she's online watching the replay. I think yesterday we were watching for some days ago, but you've been so consistent, Syrian. I just want to say well done. Good morning, everyone. I am so honored today, this morning. I see your IUs. To have a friend of mine, a sister, someone who has been a blessing to me here. Her bestie was here on the 6th, and she's here today on the 19th. Hey, let me introduce to you and share her with you, because I know some of you now are going to be her friends and her besties and her people and her choco, and you're going to be running to her page to learn more and listen to her podcast. Her name is Tombra Wuswagu. Oh my gosh, Tombra is one person that I will say I didn't know. I had no clue who she was until I knew who she was. You just see her, she's just beautiful and, just fills the room with joy. When I heard her story, I was like, oh my gosh, this girl is a bundle of what comes to mind is when someone is pouring water for someone else to drink. There's a scene like that in, I think, the original Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Somebody was pouring water and someone was drinking. I just see Tombra as that person who pours and others can drink and receive life. She's the host of the transformational podcast titled Created for More. You should listen to a few of the episodes. I must also add, she's one of the most consistent human beings that I know. My goodness, Tombra, how you do it, I don't know. She's also the founder of The More Collective, a catalytic community of women intentional about personal growth and inner fulfillment. And I'm sure some men will be wondering, what about us? Don't worry, when she comes, you ask her. She's a devoted Christian. She loves to sing for Christ, and she has a single titled You Are Holy. Also known as the activator, Tombra is committed to helping others see life through a completely new lens that gives them personal power. So if you want personal power, Tombra is the coach to go to so that you can be activated by the activator. She does this through various initiatives, including the Identity Mastery Program and her soon to be launched Voyage to Growth Accountability Program. Everyone in the chat, welcome with me. Tombra Oswago. Thank you so much, Tombra, for being here, for joining us. We're so delighted to have you.
Hello, Wiser Nation! Oh my goodness. I have been waiting for this day. I'm so excited.
As have I. As have we all.
Oh my goodness. Oh gosh, you guys
I
are
know it's 5 a.m. or 6 minutes past 5 a.m. where you are. So you've made even more sacrifice for us. You've been up. In fact, you've been up almost all through the night because I've seen your chats at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. and this morning. And I know it's really cold. You should have been snuggled up in bed, drinking some maybe cocoa or sleeping and enjoying cuddles. But here you are sharing of yourself as you do. Thank you so much. Wiser Nation, I leave you in the very capable hands of God's maiden, Tombra. See you soon.
See you soon. I just have to. I heard all the accolades, and you were celebrating me. You said most consistent person, and all these great things. But the truth is, Joyce, and I wish you would come on back just for me to just give you some flowers. You are such an inspiration. Yes, I need to see your face, Mama. You are such an inspiration. I mean, every chance I have to show you off, to say, I've got this wiser head in my corner. I take it. You've been on my podcast. You've been at my summit. Oh my gosh, I love what you stand for. I love the fact that I know what you represent. Every time I see you, you are consistent. Your message is the same. So I just want to thank you for the gift that you are to the world, and bless you. May you continue to grow higher and higher in everything that you do. God bless you. Please, guys, I absolutely love what's the wisest head? Okay, guys, I am honored to be here and raring to go. And I just want to, as we start, I just want to say how consistent you guys have been. I haven't been able to watch every day, I must say, but what I do is I try and catch the replays when I can, because it's super early for us, but that's no excuse, to be honest. But anyways, I do try and catch the replays when I can. But what I'm going to do today is slightly different. So today I'm going to be looking, as you know, at Proverbs 19. But one thing I realized that a lot of times, and I love it, because I love that Joyce was talking about this yesterday. She said a lot of times when we read texts and we read stuff and we're here and we're all excited and we read all this, and then somebody says, you know what, this person, jealousy is not good. You're thinking instantly at the person, it's true, they should not be jealous, and you're thinking about the person whom that text pertains to. But we forget that we have to start with ourselves. The job is that we start with ourselves. So today, what I will be doing is, with every single verse that we look at, we will be taking one principle. So I will show you a way in which that text relates to you, the man in the mirror. As Michael Jackson says, the man in the mirror, I'm going to be pointing that at you. I'm going to be showing you how it relates to you and what you can take away from it. So more than anything, I want you to have your journal, but I'm sure you always do. But today, it's so critical, because this chapter is 29 verses. So what we're going to have are 29 principles. And in the end, I'll be asking you, which ones are you going to act on today? Which ones are you going to, start doing? What will you stop doing as a result of the principles you've learned? So today it's about me. I want you to put in the comments box. It is about me. Today is all about me. Are you ready? Alrighty. So I'm ready for us to go. So let us please get the text up. We're going to be looking at Proverbs 19 from the Message translation. It's about me today. I see it. Thank you so much. I see all the it's about me coming through. Priya says TIAAM. I love it. I was hearing the good morning GM. Good morning to you. I love you guys already. Oh my God. Today is all about me. That's exactly it. So let's start. Let's talk about Proverbs 19, verse 1. It says, better to be poor and honest than a rich person that no one can trust. And I was thinking, it's like, God, why is this so important? Why is this thing so important? It's more important for somebody to be trustworthy than it is for them to be rich. I was like, surely, why, God? And then, what became up, what I started, as I started reflecting on it, I started seeing that, in the scriptures, there's so many instances where God is saying, trust the Lord with all your heart. Blessed is the man who trusts God, and we've been made in the image and the likeness of God. So God is saying, look, when you are not trustworthy, you are not showing up like me. You are not showing up like me. And it is abhorrent to me because I don't recognize you. So if you had to choose one, choose being trustworthy. Let it be that when you speak a word, someone can take it to the bank. Someone can say, because Ekene said this, it has to be true. Have you heard of those people when they say good morning, you have to go outside, look and see if it's really morning? May that never be said about any of us here. We are the kinds of people, when we speak a word, it is backed by truth. So our very first principle, remember, it's about me today. I will always side with truth. I want you to write that down. That is you. I will, if there was ever one side to be on, I will always be on the side of truth. Verse 2 says, ignorant zeal is worthless, and haste makes waste. I looked up the meaning of zeal, and it means energy. Have you ever seen all those things when you get into a situation and you just find people that just have energy, they're just going brr, brr, brr. You're like, hey, time to do this. Hey, they're carrying this, they're jumping here, they're doing that. Like, hey, wait. Hold on. Let's think first. What exactly are we doing? Zeal is good, but zeal must never be ignorant. It must always be founded on knowledge. It must always be founded on knowledge. It means you must understand the context of what you're doing. If not, what you're actually doing is that you are wasting your time, because you're putting all the effort, you're doing this, you're doing that, and then you find out that, oh my gosh, I've been doing all this work and it's meaningless. Look, time is one of your greatest, it is, in fact, your greatest asset, your greatest currency. I often say that, look, time, when people say this, you hear people say things like, oh, I need to create the time. You can never create time. You can never. You don't create time. The only thing that you do is you appropriate time. You give time an assignment. Go and do this for me. We all have the same 24 hours. Nobody has more time than you. The difference between the people who use their time properly and the ones who do not are the ones who give their time assignments, who are intentional about how they use their time. So this currency that you have, you must treasure it. You must treasure it. You must honor it. You must honor it. It's like somebody was talking about, you know how we eat bones, our people. Who likes to eat chicken? My children, let me even just you guys, my children, when they eat chicken, they just eat like, I say, please, when you finish eating your chicken, bring it to mommy before you throw it away. But, you know now, not crack it, suck. suck the juice. That's how you must be about your time. Intentional about sucking and taking everything. And when you are ignorant, you are not using it well, you are just throwing it, you are wasting time. And then you're not basing your actions on thoughtful decision making. Like, I've thought about it, and now I am going to do this, right? That is where you want to be. You want to think carefully, consider, and say, okay, now that I have considered all the implications, this, and I have listened to the Holy Spirit as well, this is what I am going to do. So the principle, and guys, if you have your own principles, I want to see it. Look, I am in the wiser nation. Everybody here is wise. Everybody here is wise. I want you to put it in there. So my principle, what I'm sharing now on this one is, I give thoughtful consideration before making a decision. From today, that is who you are. That is your DNA. You give thoughtful considerations before making decisions. We don't just jump. They call this thing fads. People will just jump, start doing this, start doing that. That's not you. You sit down, you think, you evaluate, and you give thoughtful considerations before you make a decisions. Good. Number 2, I love it. Eze Philip, thank you so much for that. Number 3, people ruin their lives by their own stupidity. So why does God always get blamed? I am asking the same question. This question from King Solomon, I'm asking that same question. Look, let me tell you something. God's hands are tied like this. You say God can do anything concerning the things that he has given you power to do here on earth. There are things that he has delegated the authority to you. He has said, okay, these are the things that Tombra cannot do. So a step above me, it's above me now. A step above, I would make sure we organize that. But these ones are within her power. We've already given her delegated authority. She knows. Every single person has the power of choice. The Hebrew word for it is called exousia. You that you are listening to me, you have the power of choice. So what that means is that you, again, through thoughtful consideration, you can evaluate and say, oh, this is what I want to do. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. So when you move and you do things that are not taking you to where you want to go, it is not God's fault. And you must also understand that with that same power of choice, you can bring yourself back to the straight and narrow. You can pull yourself back. God has given you, it says, the spirit of love and of a sound mind. Your mind is sound. Your mind is sound. Say, my mind is sound. So you can make choices, you can do things, you can use your mind, your brain, and do things for yourself. So don't go giving, blaming God, but why? Don't make those decisions. Thoughtful consideration. When you have thoughtfully considered it, you can move. Okay? So the principle here, who would like to throw in a principle? My mind is sound. The principle here is I will not blame God for what is within my power to change. I will not blame God. Starting today, Doris, Bidemi, Stephanie, I will not blame God for what is within my power to change. So, right now, as you think about areas in your life where peradventure you're thinking, you know what, I wish this would change. Understand that that power is within you to change it. You can decide and you can make the steps towards redirecting yourself. Yeah. Alrighty, let's go. Number 4. Who's ready for number 4? Who's ready for number 4? Okay. Number 4 says wealth attracts friends as honey draws flies. But poor people are avoided like a plague. And look, when you first read this, you're going to be like, hey, now, wow, hey. Because how do they say? They say, now money I no get, I no kill person. Now money I get, I no get, I no kill people. Let me tell you something, yeah. It's easy to look and say, you know what? No one should avoid me. This thing. But remember, we just talked about the power of choice. We just talked about the power of choice. You have the power to also change your situation. And somebody's going to say to me, Tomba, you don't really understand. Let me tell you something. Money is only one dimension of wealth. Just one dimension. There's so many other strands of wealth. That's why you find people, a janitor or somebody who is maybe a cleaner is so loved. Let me tell you something. My husband, we have, I live in the UK. So here we have like a dumpster where you go. We don't normally go there every time, but maybe once in a month or something, where we have a lot of things to throw away that can't go in our normal collection bin. My husband will go all the way to the dumpster and then throw the things away. Where we're living now, we've been living here for 7 years. So my husband goes there. So let's say maybe once every quarter, he will go to the dumpster, or every month or something, whatever. He's now become friends with all the people at the dumpster. And then one day, recently, he went to the dumpster and came back and said, Tomba, you won't believe it. One of my friends who works at the dumpster, this is the guy who, when he gets there, carries his things from the car and throws it for him. Most people are supposed to do it for themselves, but my husband becomes so much friends with them. They gist, so they are carrying it together. He said, oh, my friend, this is my friend. He's gone, started going blind. He wasn't there, and I asked, where is he? They said, oh, he started going blind. So my husband said, oh, please, can you give me his number? Got his number. Went to go and see him at home. The guy was so happy. The guy told him that, oh my gosh, the guy has been working now with dumpster all his life. Literally, he started working and he's a guy in maybe his 50s or something. He said, you won't believe the amount of people that have come to see me just from the relationships that he has built over the years. Somebody might look at it and say, you know what? He's quote and unquote, he works in a dumpster. He's not wealthy, like what they were saying, wealth attracts friends. But he attracts friends. for somebody that's to leave and come home. My husband was so disturbed about it. He came home, told me he had visited him, he had called him. So there is power in relationships. So the point I'm trying to make is when you look at a scripture like this, you're thinking to yourself, I say, yeah, but this we're sitting down and we're, look, when you have something to give, people will not avoid you. When you recognize the value that you carry, when you build relationships, when you give of your time, when you love, you are wealthy. You are wealthy. There are so many dimensions. So I want to, the principle here from me is, I want you to understand that as you are, you have a lot in you. So don't shortchange yourself by looking at, some parts and thinking that, oh, because I don't have this, I don't have, there are other things that you have. So you must always understand that you must always have something to bring to the table, to give to those around you. Yeah, I love it. Amina says, when I have, oh, it's gone so fast. When I have something to give, people will not avoid me. Yes. 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 I can't wait for my book, My Life of Giving and Receiving, to come out. I love that, Chinyere. So the principle here is I will always have more than enough to give to those around me. I will always, always have more than enough to give to those around me. I must remember to move swiftly. How is the time going like this? Okay, all right. Number 5. Who's ready for number 5? Number 5 is perjury. Perjury won't go unpunished. Would you let a liar go free? So when you perjure yourself is when you are meant to be speaking honestly about something, and then you intentionally misinterpret it. You intentionally and lie about something with intention. That's when you perjure yourself. So what this scripture is saying is that, look, again, going back to trust, God, his currency, how he transacts, how he deals with us, is through trust. It's through, he always says, look, take it anywhere. Trust in me, take it anywhere. So when we don't represent, we don't manifest like that, to him, it's like, who are you? And the scripture, there's a scripture in, and you guys would have done it in Proverbs 6. It says 6 things God hates. False witnesses. For God, and it was in the 10 Commandments. Too. Thou shalt not lie. Everything's already in 10 Commandments. It is still here in the list of 6 things. I think it's even 7 that God hates. A false witness that pours out lies. A false witness. First of all, and if you don't really understand this, I want you to first of all think, how does it feel? Imagine if you're somewhere and then something happens, and then somebody now, I'm going to say, they lied on me, children, he's lying. How do you feel when somebody tells a lie about how you've shown up or what you've done? You've done it in this way, and the person comes and says, oh, no, it was this, and you know it's a lie. How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel? So God is a very, very just God. That's why when, sin had taken over the earth, somebody had to pay the price for that sin. That was why he sent Jesus Christ to die. He's a just God. So for God, when you start to pour false, when you start to lie, you start to become a false witness, God is siding with the person that you are lying against instantly. Because he is a just God. So I see it. Some people say, says, I feel annoyed. I feel horrible. So I want you to hold that feeling. Whenever there's an opportunity presents itself, and it's looking like your mouth is going left, when you should be staying in the straight and narrow, remember that feeling. And remember what the scripture says about it. It says, it will not go unpunished. Would you let a liar go free? I will not let you go free. Whenever there's an opportunity, you speak the truth. Who wants to know what the principle is here? So the principle for verse number 5 is the same. It's the same as the very first principle. It is, I will always side with truth. I will always side with truth. Number 6, let's go. Thank you so much. Number 6 says, lots of people, they flock around a generous person, and every single person is a friend with the philanthropist. So a philanthropist is somebody who seeks to promote the welfare of others through good courses, through things, giving beyond themselves. So people are what is in need for me type of people. That is it. By our human nature, we are selfish by nature. That is why when you give birth to a newborn baby, the baby's crying. I want to eat. Yeah. Give me food. Give me milk. No. The baby doesn't know. Mommy has not slept for 7 hours. Mommy is tired. Mommy just came back from work. The baby doesn't understand all that. Give me. No. That's how we are. So we always like it's when you are a person who is doing, who is giving, you become a magnet. You become a magnet to people, to goodwill, to every single thing. All right? So that is who you want to be. It's easy to read this and say, please, I beg. They're not, that's not, I don't want to be, if I be rich, then I'll just have fake people following me. It's easy to read that, but you can also read the scripture and look at it and say, you know what? I want to be a person who is championing good courses. I want to be a person who's promoting the welfare of others. I want to be a person who is giving, right? So the principle here, who is ready for the principle here? Principle number what? Are we on? Are you guys taking notes? Are you guys taking notes? Principle number 6 says, I will always seek to promote the welfare of others. And I put in parentheses, brackets, especially those who have nothing to give back in return. I will always seek to promote the welfare of others, particularly, especially those who have nothing to give back in return. Number 7, when you're down on your luck, even your family avoids you. Yes, even your best friends wish you would get lost. If they see you coming, they look the other way. Out of sight is out of mind. When I read this, what I actually see is the fact that when people feel as if, you know what, I don't have, they forget their greatest power. They forget their greatest power. And the greatest power is that you, as a human being, inherent within you is a value always. In whichever form, I talked about the guy who was working at a dumpster, had so much value in him. Just that carrying the things from the car for my husband, putting it, being warm and friendly, gisting, doing all this thing. That was him transacting his value. So when I see this, I'm seeing that a lot of times when you feel that you are down, you feel you have nothing to offer, you then go around, you are not, I think in one of the, actually, let me say this, in one of the translations for this, it says, when you see the person coming, and you offer words and they don't even answer you. I think there's a translation that represents this like that. So the point here is that most times when you feel like you are down, when you feel like you have nothing to give, how do you still show up? Do you show up as a burden to others? Or do you show up still strong, like, you know what? Is there something I can do? Is there a way that I can still transact value? Is there a way that I can still show up where I give you something that I have because you always have something? That's one thing I want you to understand. No matter how down and out you are, you always have something. So always remember that wherever you go, you must offer value. You must offer value wherever you go. The reason why this person was being avoided was because he wasn't offering value. He became a burden. So the principle here is I will always offer value wherever I go. I will always offer value. And I realized I have to move fast now because, yes. Number 8. Number 8 says, grow a wise heart. You'll do yourself a favor. Keep a clear head and you'll find a good life. What does it mean to be wise? This thing that we are doing for 31 days, what does it actually mean? What does it mean to be wise? It means to act, to discern, to see, deep within things, to be able to connect seemingly unconnectable things, to really, really, really discern. Henry Cloud talks about 3 different types of people. He's a boundaries, like my friend Brala did. That's how I got to know about him. But Henry Cloud is a boundaries coach, boundaries teacher, an industry leader, whatever you want to call it. He talks about 3 different types of people. He talks about the wise, the foolish, and the evil. So the foolish people are people that when you speak and when wisdom hits them, they don't change. They still stay on the same level. So when you say something, they've seen new revelation, they don't adjust. The wise people are the people when they might not know something, they're not doing something well, but when new revelation hits them, they change and they take a new path. And then the evil people are people that are just playing around evil. They're just out for your blood. Do you understand? So really, what you want to be is the person that when wisdom hits you, and that's the whole premise of everything we're doing here for 31 days. So that when wisdom hits you, you go into the next year changing something. So it is important to grow wise. It is important to dig, to understand, to really, really see, so that you can always discern what isn't very obvious. So the principle for this one is I will always seek to discern what isn't obvious. I will always seek to discern what isn't obvious. Yeah? I will always seek to discern what isn't obvious. Number 9, let's go. Number 9 says, the person who tells lies gets caught, and the person who spreads rumors is ruined. You need a lie to cover another lie. How many people have tried? You lied about this, and then now say, but what about this? Then you have to lie to cover that lie, and you have to lie, and the whole thing just, before you know, you don't even know where you started. And what does this do? What is the implication of this? What it does, it dilutes the weightiness of your words. So what happens is, when next time you speak, people are instantly already thinking that no, this person isn't speaking truthfully, isn't speaking honestly. Because you've said something before that has diluted the weightiness of your words. Yeah? So always remember that every time you tell a lie, you are diluting. You are diluting. Anytime you spread a rumor, anytime you go and you involve yourself using your mouth to entangle yourself in webs, understanding that the weightiness of your words are being diluted. And that is really all you have. You're being less and less like God. Yeah? So the principle here is, I will speak with great care and consideration. I will speak with great care and consideration. I will speak with great care and consideration. Number 10 says, blockheads shouldn't live on easy street any more than workers should give orders to their bosses. Blockheads. So this is what I think one version calls it, the fool. Shouldn't live. What do we do? Human beings, as we are, we're amplifiers. When you're good, you amplify good. When you're bad, you amplify bad. That's kind of who we are. Right? So when you give a blockhead or a fool, quote and unquote, an easy life, they amplify foolishness. They just make more and more, just amplifying foolishness. They don't understand the value of things. They use it anyhow, So they said, no, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't give them an easy life. You should let people take responsibility for themselves. If not, they amplify laziness. Any more than workers should give orders to their bosses. But when I was reading, I thought about a worker that eventually was giving orders to his bosses. I thought about Joseph. When he eventually assumed the throne through showing he was wise, what happened? He became the boss, prime minister in all of Egypt. Who do you think was people that were reporting into him? Potiphar, his former boss. So you must understand that it is very, very important for you to grow in wisdom. That's the thing, number one. And to also ensure that you are amplifying the right thing. So number 10, the principle number 10 is, I will amplify wisdom and earn the right to rule empires. Who would like to rule empires? I will always amplify wisdom and earn the right to rule empires. Number 11 says, smart people know how to hold their tongue, and their grandeur is to forgive and forget. Self-control, my friend, is one of your biggest weapons in your arsenal. Some people get involved in every single battle. Anybody that speaks, and they'll brag about it. I will hit you match for match, word for word. When you talk, you will not say na me. I go give them, But let me tell you, self-control is what teaches you strategy. Or is what shows that you have strategy. It's what shows that you are more thoughtful. It's what shows that you are more godlike. You don't get involved in everything. You must own. My friend Baladi talks a lot about boundaries. You must be able to regulate yourself. Say, they can do what they do, but my reaction must always be under my control. So the principle here is, I will regulate my emotions. Yes, it applies to you as well. I will regulate my emotions and always remain in control. I will regulate my emotions and always remain in control. That's number 11. I will regulate my emotions and always remain in control. Number 12 says, let's go. Mean tempered leaders are like mad dogs, and good natured leaders, yeah, I've added that there, are like a fresh morning dew. Do you know what a mad dog is? A dog already. I remember when my go to my uncle's house, he used to have like many dogs. And when one dog starts chasing you, hey, Jesus, you want kitty cat, kitty cat, kitty cat, kitty cat. So it's important to what kind of leader are you? What kind of leader do you want to be? The kind of person who, when you come into a place, people understand what you're doing. They understand the vision where you're taking them to. They are bought into your vision. You are predictable. When you make decisions, there's clarity. People understand that, okay, this is why we are going in this direction. Or do you want to be one that when you come, people are like, hey, madam, don't come again. I don't even understand what they do. No. You want to be a leader who is like the fresh morning dew. When you come in, people are happy to be there. You're like a breath of fresh air. Thank God. So the principle here is I will be a good natured leader of flourishing teams. I will be a good leader of flourishing teams. Number 13 says a parent is one to a frazzle by an irresponsible child, and a nagging spouse is a leaky faucet. And this is the one where all men say, I'm sure there's some men here that are thinking, yes, it's true. It's better we talk about this. Hey, I don't like nagging women. Talk, up and down. When I read this is talking about children being irresponsible and how they wear out their parents. This is also talking about spouses nagging and the impact they have, like a leaky faucet. Like we just put it drop by drop before that drop can literally flood the whole house. If you plug the drain and you go on holiday, just one drop, it seems very small, but it can literally flood the whole house. So you must understand that you must be conscious of how you're impacting others. How am I impacting others? How are people experiencing me? So the principle here is I will ensure that everyone who experiences me is better for it. And the people in my inner circle, they know this because I talk about this a lot. I wish we had more time to talk about this because it's very, very deep. Everyone, how are you being experienced by those who are around you? I will ensure that every single person who experiences me is better for it. That's the principle here. Number 14, let's go. House and land are handed down from parents, but a congenial spouse comes straight from God. A congenial spouse is a spouse that is pleasing, that has similar interests to you, that you agree with. If you marry somebody who is agreeable, it is a gift. It is a gift from God. And if you're not married, in your significant relationships, when you are in relationship and it's blending, there's congruence, it's a gift from God. I want you to honor those relationships. I want you to honor those relationships. It's a gift from God. So the principle here is I will be a gift in my significant relationships. I will think about how I'm impacting them. What is a gift? A gift is something that someone hands you and you are like, wow, this is incredible. I will be a gift in my significant relationships. That is the principle there. Let's go. Number 15. Life collapses on loafers and lazy bones go hungry. Remember what we talked about, laziness. When you are a loafer, eventually it comes tumbling down, because we must all work to eat. And to work, the backbone of working and staying consistent and diligent is discipline. So you must put in the work. Every single day, you must put in the work. So the principle here is I will stay committed to discipline. Say, I will stay committed to discipline. I will stay committed. If you're a lazy person and you are not pulling your weight, you will grow hungry. So you must stay committed to discipline so that you don't go hungry. Yeah, that's number 15. I love it. Leslie says, is it Leslie? Bets TV says, hustle. Yeah, hustle, please. Hustle. Whilst you're young, hustle. But I don't even like the word hustle. Anyway, that's, yes, work. Keep the rules and keep your life. Careless living kills. Keep the rules and keep your life. Careless living kills. So rules are there to keep you safe. Ensure that you embrace them. Rules are there to keep you safe. If you live carelessly, anyhow, when we say kill there, it's not necessarily death, but it kills dreams, it kills aspiration, it kills the things that you would have done, right? So you always have to remember to stay on the straight and narrow. Yeah. So number 16 is I just remembered I actually didn't write any principle for this one. I think I must have said I'll come back to it. I never did. So the principle for this one, what should our principle for this one be? Guys, I want you to put it in the chat. I will live circumspectly, or I would live cautiously. I would live in a way that, yeah, I would live circumspectly. Okay, let's use that one. Number 17, mercy to the needy is a loan to God. And God pays back those loans in full. So everything that you do for somebody is a loan to God. When you give to people who cannot help themselves, you are actually helping. You're loaning God. So God will give you back. God does not owe man. Yeah. So this, again, I will use the same principle as I used the first time. I will commit to living right. I love that, Stephanie. Let's use that. I will commit to living right. Stephanie has the one for number 16. I will commit to living right, or I will live by godly principles. That's good too. But let's use Stephanie. I'll commit to living right. Number 17 is the same one as we've done before. I will seek to promote the welfare of others. That's the principle of number 17. When you give, you're promoting the welfare of others. And God will pay you back. I will seek to promote the welfare of others. Number 18, discipline your children while you still have the chance. Indulging them destroys them. I have 2 girls. Children are malleable. And what malleable means is that you can press them, you can change them without breaking them, you can bend them, you can put them in the shape that you want them to be without breaking them. And it is your responsibility to not destroy them. These are souls that have been committed to you. And when I say children, I'm speaking broadly as well to people who are mentees, people who are, who you have delegated authority over. Remember that you must influence people right? So the principle here is I will influence with consideration for the future. When you are influencing, think about what the outcome is. When you're giving advice to your mentees, whatever you're doing, you influence people right with consideration for their future. I will influence with consideration for the future. Number 19 is let angry people endure the backlash of their own anger. If you try to make it better, you will only make it worse. One of the principles I teach as well is I am responsible for my actions and not that of others. This is one that liberates people a lot, because Because a lot of times when people do things, we think it's our fault, and we're like, oh, you hear people, maybe people are, the husbands are being domestic violent to them. They will say things like, oh, but it was me that caused him to beat, it was what I said that caused it. No, you're responsible for your actions. The other person, the fully grown adult, they're responsible for their own actions. When they speak and they say things, you should let people face the rough, because if people don't feel the backlash, if people don't feel anything as a result, any consequence as a result of what they've done, then they will keep perpetuating the wrong. So when there's a lesson to be learned, don't learn the lesson for somebody. It's like somebody hits their head on the wall, then somebody, when someone is walking and about to hit their head on the wall, and then you go and put your head there and hit it and say, no, I don't want your head. What do you do? You're setting the person up for destruction, because they will never know that thing is painful, because you're taking all the content. And a lot of mothers do this, actually. No, I don't want them to listen. I don't want them, because if they don't feel it, then instantly you are basically robbing them of the experience to learn, right? So the principle here is, I will not truncate the learning process of others. This is very important. I will not truncate the learning process of others. Yeah, I will not truncate the learning process of others. Number 20 is take good counsel and accept correction. That's the way to live wisely and well. It takes humility to accept correction. It takes humility. I was speaking to a friend yesterday, and she was like, she was giving me some feedback, because me, I was like, no, I was telling her, don't do this, don't do that. And she was like, I'm grateful that I had the humility to accept the correction that you were given. So remember that when people speak, when there are people that, it's not everybody that speaks that you go there and put your ears and be listening to. It's not everybody. Yeah. Take advice from people who have earned the right to advice. Yeah. Remember that. Who are emulating or imbibing the same value system as yours, who are walking on the same lane as you, who you see yourself, they're influencers, quote and unquote, in the right way. So the principle here is that I will humbly take advice and accept correction. That's the kind of person that we are. We accept correction. We learn. We can learn from the experiences of others. I will humbly take advice and accept correction from those who have earned the right to give it. Yeah? Remember that. Those who have earned the right to give it. Number 21 says, we humans keep brainstorming options and plans, but God's purpose is what will prevail. God has a grand plan for creation, and he does not change his purposes to suit your desires. God will not change what he has set in motion because somebody says, no, I prefer this. He will not change his purpose to suit your desires. So whatever you do, you must always keep your desires subject to God's will. I must always keep my desires subject to God's will. I understand that God has an overarching will. He's a creator and I am the created. So I must come from that perspective. Okay? So I will keep my desires subject to God's will. That is the principle for number 21. I will keep my desires subject to God's will. I will keep my desires subject to God's will. Yeah. Number 22, it's only human to want to make a buck, but it is better to be poor than a liar. It is better to be poor than a liar. See, like what God is saying here, look, you can be rich. I don't mind you being rich. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. We are here to inherit everything. He's giving us everything, right? You can be rich. But if there was ever a choice to be made between riches and truth, choose truth. If there was ever a choice to be made between riches and truth, choose truth. We've talked about this severally now. You must always side with truth because that is the image of God. That is the image through which we were made. So when we are not siding with it, God cannot recognize us. He's looking and he cannot see who he created. He cannot. Okay, let's go. So the principle here is I will always side with truth. So it's the same as we had before. Number 23 is fear of God is life itself. A full life and a full life serene with no nasty surprises. So what does the fear of God actually means? It means awe. It means submission. It means, just understanding that you are subject to one who is higher. You are subject to one who is higher. So fear of God is reverential. It's understanding that in everything that I do, I must commit it to one that is higher than me. And it gives you a full life. You don't get any nasty surprises because daily you are committing those plans. So it's like you are moving in line, in step. Yeah. Okay. So the principle here is I will remain submitted to God even when, and this is a difficult thing, even though I don't understand his purpose. So you may not really understand it, but fear God. Do what he asks you to do. You may not really understand what it's there, but understand that our entire life is a tapestry. When God looks, he sees a picture of the universe and he sees where we fit into it. So we may not really understand it, but fear God. Bring your plans into submission with him. Number 24 says some people dig a fork into a pie, but are too lazy to put it into their mouth. And this is, this is so many people are doing work, but they forget to take the spoils. And for several reasons, they're planting. Either they're planting too everywhere. There's thing. It's too shallow. So when it's even time, they don't even remember to come they don't consolidate their efforts. And this is the singular reason why a lot of people are not sitting in the dimension, in the full ownership of everything that is meant to be theirs. Because they are busy spreading them. So they're busy doing different things. Or maybe there's no self-belief. What am I doing? Is it even going to yield anything? So they're digging, putting the fork, they're doing all these things. But when it's time to actually reap the benefits, they're not there. Or they don't even take responsibility. Say, this thing is mine. So when I finish doing the work, there is a reward that is mine. Some people don't even have that wherewithal. So remember to think about what you're doing. Remember to consolidate your efforts. Remember I always teach about people working in cycles. Don't just do. The new year is coming. What are you going to do? How will you work? When will you be your on cycles? When will be your off cycles? Because you need to rest. This world is a world of systems. Everything works in systems. The sun comes out at a certain time. The day comes out, and that is how we are meant to operate as well. We're meant to operate as part of a unified whole in systems. So you must have a cyclical process. With times where, you are putting all your effort into one particular thing. Time where you are resting, like God. Do you understand? So remember that. Put your efforts, take the spoils. Work, but don't forget to take the spoils. So the principle here is I will stay committed and reap the reward of my labor. I will stay committed. This is number 24. I will stay committed and reap the reward of my labor. Yeah. Number 25. We're there. Please. I just need a few more minutes. I'm going to, 6 minutes, please. And 5 minutes. I'll try my best. By 7:10, please, Joyce. Number 25 is punish the insolent and make an example of them. Who knows? Somebody might learn a good lesson. I read this. I said, why now? But what's the insolent? People who are rude. And somebody else might learn and say, maybe that's not the way. But if you say, it's okay, don't worry, it's okay, it's all right. They spoke to you anyhow, but you don't stand up for yourself. You don't say anything. So no, but it's okay. Let them just, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Nobody learns that is not the way to do, because human beings, a lot of times we model behavior. So what that is saying is that stand up, speak, say something. This is not the right way. Joyce talks a lot about order, structure, systems, waiting in line. But if you just accept, it's all right, it's all right, let everybody just go, nobody learns a lesson. So number 25 is I will teach I will teach and I will, through the experiences that I have. So I will make sure that people are learning through what I teach. I will make sure people are learning through what I teach. Yes. Or I'll stand for what I believe. Oh my God. Okay, I will stand for what I believe. Let's go for that. I will stand for what I believe. Number 26. So we're going to 29 and we're in 26 now. Kids who lash out against their parents are an embarrassment and disgrace. Whoosh. Kids who lash out against their parents. Sometimes some parents too shout. Some parents too shout. But the best thing to do is to just honor that honor. You might still, some people need boundaries, some people need, and that's a whole topic. But the best thing you can do as a child is you don't match your parents word for word. You say, but you too. You say your piece in a calm, respectful way. If you need, but you don't match them over. You must honor. So I will honor and show respect for my elders. That's the number 26. I will honor and show respect for my elders. 27 says, if you quit listening, dear child, and strike off on your own, you'll soon be out of your depth. So when you go, I know everything. I don't need to let anybody. You'll soon be out of your depth. There's always wisdom to be gleaned from those who have gone ahead. Yeah? There are times where you know enough, but always ensure that you are embedded in a system of counsel. So there are people who can talk to you. You have what I call, mentors, or I call it paragons, people who have gone ahead of you that you can take some of the lessons. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. They can teach you one or two things and you can build on that. Yeah. So number 27 is I will prioritize learning. I'll prioritize learning from others over learning from my mistakes. So if there's an opportunity to learn from somebody else, do that so that you don't have to learn from your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes, yeah, it's good, it makes you stronger, whatever. But if there's an opportunity to learn from others, then do so. Number 29 is that an unprincipled witness desecrates justice. 28, sorry, and the mouth of the wicked spews malice. And we've talked about this over and over today, which is make sure that you are siding on the side of truth. Make sure your principles do not desecrate God's justice system. God's justice system. It's very important. God is a just God. So make sure that you are a witness. When you speak, people understand that you stand for truth. So the principle here is the same. I will always side with truth. That's 28. And then 29 is the irreverent have to learn reverence the hard way. Again, we've talked about this. Don't, if you can learn it without getting slapped, make sure you take that. Yeah. So make sure you take that if you can learn. So prioritize learning from others over learning from your own mistakes. So the same principle as the first one. Prioritize learning from others over learning from your mistakes. And always give honor where honor is due as well. Always give honor where honor is due. That is me. That is me. That is me. And that is me. And sorry for going over. The time moves so fast here. Hey, you wise up people. Hey, I was looking at. I was like, how? Please let me know in the comments box which one was your definite number one. That's one. I want to hear three things. Your ultimate lesson for today. I also want to know, if there was anything that you can implement now. I want to hear it. I'm going to start doing this today. Yeah. So the highest principle you got, the principle that you start doing today, and then what you will stop as a result of the principle that you've learned today. If you can, put it in the comments box. But yes, I'm done. Thank you so much. You guys have been fantastic. It's been incredible fellowshipping with you. Thank you.
I'm writing my top three things. Please give me a moment. That's what I'm doing.
What are your top principles?
My top principle, whilst others are typing, I have the privilege to speak, is side with the truth. And I would say this is coming very timely for me because there are there is one particular truth that I think I've been dodging recently. I keep avoiding it as best I can. Maybe I will talk about it in little groups here and there, but I need to side with truth. This is what I believe. This is what I believe. So that I am not cowered into any corner for not being able to stand.
Yes.
I'm not silenced because I can't make my voice heard. And perhaps one of the reasons why I've not been able to take a stand is because I feel it might rob me of an opportunity later. If you sit down tomorrow, they will come for you and say, after all, but you know what? Stand for truth, stand for truth. He finds a way to stand for me when it's time. Right? So that's my ultimate lesson for today. What to immediately implement, of course, is same. Take a stand, create that flyer, put it out there that this is what I stand for, this is what I stand for. To stop making excuses for my children, either biological or via when they get into a hard place that was caused by their maybe carelessness. Don't rush to save them. Allow them to experience the growth that comes with it as well. I've protected a few people here and there from the things that cost me to grow. I grew in my hardships.
Yes, and you're not giving them that same opportunity.
Yes, when I've seen some trying to go through certain hardships, I run to their aid. I try to fix things. Not always, but I've done it a few times. And coming, talking about it today, listening to you, I'm like, yeah, maybe I should have allowed her. I think the best thing was to allow her go through it. Tell her, I'm here with you, but go through.
But there's a balance, isn't there, with them also learning from the experience of others that have gone ahead. There's a balance. And also then when they're in the thick of things, allowing them understand the impact and the consequences of decisions that they make.
Yes. I agree. There is that balance.
Yes, there is that balance. I can learn, I can take, if there's a way that I can cut my learning curve, yes, that's fine. But when I am in it and I have made an action, let that follow through in the consequences so that I understand really, truly. I don't get shielded. I don't think that there are no consequences for certain things because Mama
Exactly.
Joyce covered it for me.
That's it. Thank you. Let me read some of the responses here. Somto says, I will stay committed to reap the reward of my labor. Oseme, I leave it there. Said, my top principle is to live carefully to protect my dreams and life in general. I won't be careless. Rosalind Onolaja says, I will side with truth. I will prioritize learning from others instead of my own experiences. I will stay committed to reap my rewards. Chinere says, today I will submit my plans to God and ask Him if He approves of all.
Mm,
Millicent, my most ultimate lesson is I will always side with truth.
mm,
Emmanuel, I will always side with truth. Two, prioritize learning from others over learning from my own mistakes. I will work and always remember to reap the rewards. And the last two I will read. Ekenedili says, I have the power of choice. I will not
mm,
blame God for what is within my power to change. Yes,
mm,
that was a very strong one for me. Then Fun finally said, what really hit me was God does not change his purpose to suit my desires. I took home in context that I will not just be a hearer of the word, but a doer of same. Yes, there are a few others, but I think this is as much as we can take for now. Tombra, I've never really looked at it this way as to bringing out a principle from that I own, that is mine. So wisdom has been speaking to us. We can convert to principles. We can
mm.
convert it to something that we say in first person so that it is truly, truly ours. Now it's no longer just the wisdom of Solomon. It's now the
That's
wisdom of
right.
us.
Mhm,
We
mhm.
own it. We own it. So we're not saying we're not going to blame Solomon when we follow. We won't blame God for what we can change. We will intentionally own the principle. So, Wiser Nation, I think this is something we'll do going forward, right? We'll try as best we can to bring out principles from the day that we will own. Say it in our own
Mm.
words, say it in our own way, so that we hold on to it. And Chinere is saying we should bring you back. Yes, we will bring her back if she's willing. Can I say I already know she'll be willing
Of
when
course I am, always.
thank you so much, Tombra. Thank you. We are so grateful. We thank you. We love
Oh,
you. We appreciate you. When we send out the messages on the WhatsApp groups later, we'll put in the direct link to your social
mm,
media handle so that people can come to you, say thank you, learn some more, get into your space. This 2023 is the year that we learn more from people who are going in the direction that we're going to. Say, follow us
yes.
in way no road, right? We want to follow
Yes.
those who are going where we want to go so that we're not random about who we follow. We're not just following because they are nice or they look, we want to follow them, follow people because they're going where we
Mhm.
want to go as well. Or
Yes.
some have even gotten to where we want to get to. We are so grateful. All the messages in the chats right now, I say, thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
Mm.
ma'am. Thank you so much, Coach Chambra. Thank you, man, Tumbra. Thank you so much. We love you.
I love you
Mwah.
guys right back.
Bilu, 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 bilu. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Mwah.
you. It's such
Bye
an
for
honor
now.
to be with you. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Before you go, we will just say cheers to life,
Yeah.
cheers to doing, cheers
Yeah.
to owning the principles. You're
Mm-hmm.
drinking something warm. I'm drinking the
Yes.
very little water that is left here. Cheers to you all, everyone who is on the water journey with us, taking 2 liters of water per day for these 2 weeks. We say cheers, cheers to doing.
Cheers. Cheers, everyone.
Love. Bye,
I love you
everyone.
guys. Bye.
Mwah. Bye.